So we continue the coverage here at Auto Mechanica, another major supplier here. Minda, thank you so much for sparing the time here, sir. You've come a long way in the aftermarket and you are going from strength to strength. In our last interaction, I remember you had set your sights on a 12 to 15% CAGR growth rate. Tell us how you've been able to sustain that, perhaps go past it.
So as I was, as I recall my last conversation with you last year,
right.
I think the auto component industry, the aftermarket has done remarkably well.
Right.
From the industry standpoint of view, I had indicated to you about 20 to 15% CAGR.
Yes.
I think that CAGRs are being met. If you see in the long run, maybe this year probably there was a slight dip in the optics.
Right.
But I think by and large, fundamentally, if I see, it's a very strong situation for the component.
Right.
There is a lot of room for increasing the revenues, and I think I'm very sure the CAGRs will also move into or maintain and sustain the double-digit, middle double-digits future.
Right. If you look at the overall TIV and you look at some projections that come from, for example, the president of ACMA saying that the aftermarket as a whole is going from USD 10 billion to about USD 14 billion, you feel those expectations are on the right track? They're quite accurate expectations from the aftermarket?
Yeah, absolutely, because you see the estimated vehicle park today is almost about 40 million.
Right.
And growing in the next 4 to 5 years, for 5 years will be roughly 50%.
Right.
So we have the vehicle projection now in the last 2 years. This year also has been exceptionally good year for EV sale segment, and two-wheelers also caught up.
Yes.
Three-wheeler CV is also doing all-time high, including tractor. I think the estimates are very realistic, and you will see that the vehicle park growing rapidly. And we in the aftermarket track these figures or track the market, the vehicle parks increase, and we then calibrate our market share increases based on our present market shares. What kind of products we are getting in, new products from the new models, definitely also come into the aftermarket.
Right.
So overall, if you see, I think the estimates are quite correct, and aftermarket is in good, robust times ahead.
Right, that's totally clear. Now, from a sales perspective, if you were to bifurcate the aftermarket presence in different segments, what kind of sales peaks do you feel are within reach for Minda?
See, every organization has their own sales peaks, their own targets, their own short-term, long-term plans. But by and large, I see a lot of scope in four-wheeler category, the car category. Because you see that we almost crossed 4 million cars.
Yes.
So that is one peak which we will see, and we keep going on increasing. So that's a very good opportunity for the manufacturers to increase this.
Right.
Two-wheeler volumes also, of course, they were slightly shorter before the current year last year, but they have also begun to pick up this year.
Right. So those are good signs.
Yeah, good signs. So one side you get volume of business in two-wheelers, and then the value of parts in four-wheelers. It's a good combination.
Right. You made a very catchy point the last time when we interacted, where you said that the aftermarket is a segment which is very much tied to sentiments, and the sentiment seems to be buoyant right now. So what is the kind of on-ground feel you gather from your channel partners, from your ecosystem? How is the buoyancy of the sentiment? Is it very upbeat?
So, the traditional supply chain in aftermarket is slightly longer.
Right.
Because, manufacturer to the customer, there are 3 or 4 levels where the parts pass through.
Yeah.
So one is probably the distributor, then the wholesaler,
then the
retailer, and then the mechanic.
Right.
And in some cases, if there is no mechanic, then the customer directly buys and installs the part in his
Yes.
So I think the sentiments across are very important.
Right.
So sometimes there are seasonal deficiencies in a state. There could be state election, there could be a bad drought or maybe excess rains. So some of these cyclic movements have an impact.
Right.
But overall, I think the market sentiment overall basis looks very positive.
Right. There's also been this observation on the capital tied to inventories across this value chain. So word on how comfortable is the situation at each stakeholder in your assessment?
See, again here it depends from organization to organization. If you are in a push model, you're pushing the material into the chain. You're not tracking the inventory, then there could be a setback in the operations.
Right.
But if you are seeing that the inventories are being monitored by the organization, there are some of interventions available, dealer management systems, softwares are available, where you can keep checking the inventory at each level.
Right.
So that's one area where one should work into. Second is to create more demand in the market. So our sales team also should create demand and place it to the distributors and retailers, so that they're able to regularly liquidate their stocks.
Right.
So I think this is one important area. These two areas are very important from the point of view of ensuring that there are no excess inventories in the pipeline. If their inventories go out of control, then there is a pushback to the organization, and then for some time your material may be not there in the market, and some other competitor can take advantage.
Right.
So optimizing of inventory is absolutely necessary.
Right. If you look at your aftermarket portfolio, where do you see maximum traction right now? How do you look at the fast-moving parts and the high-margin parts? How is the movement across each of these segments?
So we have always maintained that our manufactured parts, what we manufacture on our own, have get the maximum traction. And we do not believe greatly into the story of trading, buying and selling. Right? To the extent possible, we have minimized this into our operations.
Right.
So we can easily say, let's say about 96 or 98% of our parts which we sell, we manufacture them ourselves, right? In our plant.
That is your post right.
So that's our post.
Right.
And we always maintain in the future also.
Right. Now, we've also been keenly tracking the OEMs, where the OEMs seem to be controlling a lot of the aftermarket in terms of parts sales through their channels. How does that have an impact on the traditional side of aftermarket? Have the gestation, the replacement cycles increased as a result? With OEMs offering certain customization options or through their own part cards, etc. How does that impact the traditional aftermarket?
So, well, I've always maintained and I've always felt very strongly that there is so big a room in the aftermarket for everybody to exist. There is room for plenty of room for everybody.
Right.
What we are trying to talk about in a limited space of 20%, there is 80% space available in the villages, remote areas, the entire geography. If you see the geography of India, there are many states, many talukas, taluk tehsils, where none of the branded products are available.
Right.
They're all local players who are operating there. So there is no question of getting into squeezing into each other. I think the opportunities which are on the landscape offers so much of opportunities that it's basically good that the branded products are doing well,
right,
so that they can push the local products back.
Right.
So it's going to be a story where we can coexist and also work together.
Right. What are your current aftermarket market shares looking like? Where have you gained? Where do you wish to gain?
So we believe that in any product line we go there, new product line if we go, we must get at least 8 to 10% market share in 5 years, 3 to 5 years.
Right.
That's our idea. So that's the business case is made accordingly that if we are able to achieve this market share, it makes sense to go. Otherwise, whatever products we have, we are currently at 20% plus market share, and we would like to go into 30%.
Right.
Keep increasing the market share, and that's our goal to sustain the market share. Add the vehicle park is increasing year on year. Add new products into that, new models coming into that. I think with good amount of work, ground work by our team now, I think we are probably seeing that kind of work contributing a large way to our growth story of last 8 to 10 years.
Now, there is a lot of e-market boom where parts are now rolling out. They've been consistently increasing. The visibility is more now when you look at these online platforms. So, how much as a percentage of your total inventory is being offloaded through the online channels?
See, we are having a very close look on the online channels, and we have also made certain amount of very calculated entries into these aggregators. Some of them are aggregators, some of the online platforms.
Right.
But the point is that the traction is not going to be very heavy. The revenues are not going to be very heavy on this overall sale. I mean, I don't see anything beyond 1 or 2%.
But you are happy that the channel is helping you move a little more than what you're moving, right?
Obviously, it's a new opportunity available.
Right.
The audience, the buyers are very different from the traditional buyer. The buyers are like who are mainly into their hobby of maintaining their own vehicles. They would like to buy genuine parts and go and get it installed by themselves or by the mechanic nearby.
Right.
So we have also put a lot of DIY videos, do-it-yourself videos into the market.
Right.
So you want to change your battery horn or a signal light. So simple steps we have shown in simple videos, and you can go and change those parts.
Right.
Overall, if I see this online sale probably is not going to make major in the near future. Traditional market.
It's supplementary to the traditional market.
The supplementary to the traditional market
Right.
may not be beyond 1 or 2%.
Okay.
Because another interesting area we are seeing is that people are going online, getting an idea of the part, reading the features, deciding the brand, buying it offline, and getting in.
But is it also true on a lighter note that they are seeing the price online and negotiating offline?
Obviously,
and forcing a price correction?
I think we all do that as consumers. When we go and buy other goods, brown goods and other small appliances, they also do that.
Right.
And there you see that the same shops offer you the same discount.
Right.
So there is a price discovery also here.
Right. Have you been looking at a recent capacity augmentation to look at the kind of projected demands that you have on your order book? Any augmentation of that sort, or a past augmentation that has now realized its full potential?
So that's a continuous process.
Yes.
We keep increasing our capacities.
Yeah.
Basis our budgets, basis our growth rates we are finalizing.
Right.
And whatever opportunities lie in the market, we want to have a sizable share of that.
Right.
We translate that into our yearly budgets.
Right.
And then the capacities are accordingly.
Right. A word on the near-term bottlenecks in terms of conducting business operations. It could be something as different as a bottleneck in the Red Sea, or it could be looking at price corrections. It could be looking at commodity prices. What are the immediate bottlenecks that you all are having to negotiate and provide a minimal pass-through to the customer? How are you negotiating this challenge?
I think post-COVID we saw a surge in commodity prices, which have now subsidized. And,
Yes.
If I see from the fundamental technical point of view, I think there are no bottlenecks in the aftermarket.
Right.
It's upon us to go there, seize the opportunities and make the best of it.
Right. A final word on the clear priority focus areas to sum up aftermarket presence of Minda going forward.
So our priority is to be there to see that we maintain the growth rates we have been doing in the last 2 years, and also get into the segments, online segments. We want to be a part of that story. Also, we would like to see some interesting areas which we can learn and how we can capitalize on that. Also, we have gone into EV products also. We see that, especially in two-wheelers, you will see that a lot of two-wheeler replacement demand is going to come in a year or two.
Yes.
So we want to be there. So I think, but our focus is going to be on the traditional distribution model, which we feel that is going to be a sizable business for many years to come.
Right. One final comment, because today happens to be the interim budget day also. So
I did have a look at the business.
overall, but was there any wish list that you hoped would have been addressed in this interim one at least?
No, I don't think so.
Not for the aftermarket.
Not even for the aftermarket.
Empowering the value chain, nothing of that
Nothing
sort.
of that.
Okay. We'll leave it at that. Thank you so much.